What's your favorite question to ask someone to get to know them better? How did you got into insert any passions/hobbies? Definitely asking them about their favorite band/music is ATM. How was your day? I'm not actually interested of the occurrences but rather their reactions to said events. It's a good way to dissect what they are. Their views on entertainment is always safe territory, movies, music, etc. If you had to murder someone, who would it be and where would you hide the body? What doth life? Ass or boobs? Favorite childhood memory? What's your Reddit username? Depends on the purpose of getting to know them. If I want to know them well on a personal level and decide if I want to continue knowing them, I might ask something a little more personal, like about past relationships or what they like to do for fun. Honestly though, I often just pay a lot of attention to how they interact with me and others, and their answers to others. Horny? I usually go for open-ended questions. My favorite is, what's the coolest place you've taken that pair of shoes? What are your most visited subreddits? Their answer could easily end a relationship before it even begins. Question their politics/s. Do you like chicken nuggets with or without crust? Do you like sports, and what teams do you pull for? Where are you from? What was it like for you growing up? What's the best thing that happened to you today? What are your thoughts on pickles, mustard, garlic, onion, and sauerkraut? If they answer in the negative, we can't be friends. I have lenience towards the sauerkraut since not everyone where I live grew up with it like I did. Did your parents buy a lot of furniture when you were growing up? Their 3 wishes. Would you rather drink Pepsi or Coca-Cola? If they say Pepsi, I make a mental note to stay the fuck away from this lunatic. What's your favorite Julie Andrews movie? What are you really terrible at? If you were a guest on a late-night talk show, what story would you tell? 2 truths and a lie. Nowadays I go straight to watch a think about vaccinations and masks. So that about half the people I meet, I no longer have to waste time getting to know, since they are heading for the evolutionary exits on the fast lane. Edit, then I come block all the assholes that don't like my reply above, thereby instantly making my Reddit experience that much more enjoyable from that point on. Bring it on, smile. Edit 2, thanks for the award. Win some, lose some, huh? Smile. Signed, fully vaxxed asshole that also still wears masks. Tell me something I don't know. Not a question, but the topic they go for can say a lot about them. Do they tell you about themselves, someone else, or something else? Then you can ask why/how they know that, or if they're particularly interested in the topic of whatever they've told you about. It's a great conversation starter, no matter if you've just met or known them forever. And if you do already know what they've told you, you can talk about your shared knowledge/interest. What kind of music do you listen to? It seems shallow, but your taste in music actually does say a lot about your personality. If I know what someone is like, I can usually guess what sort of music they're into and vice versa. Do you like cats? If they don't, then I don't want anything to do with them. Soda or pop? I've never seen battle lines drawn so quickly. Are you on Reddit? Why are you still alive? And if you die right now, would you regret your life? Yeah, I'm not exactly the most social person. X3. If you could only eat one type of cheese for the rest of your life, which type of cheese would it be? What's your name? As weak as it sounds, what are the 3 things you most like to get asked about is great in a pinch, because you can either delve into them, or why they're such a favorite. Also lets the other person set the tone of the convo, whether light and surface, or deep and personal, or anywhere in between. What is your favorite song? If I gave you the money to set up a theme restaurant or bar, what would be the theme? What would you call the establishment? What would be the signature cocktail? What's your favorite color? What do you want to do with your life, followed up by why? What is your favorite video game? Edit, mine is Persona 5 Royal. How's life, how are you doing? I normally start with what's your favorite book? As it cannot be taken the wrong way. What do you do? Some people answer that with their line of work, some people talk about being a stay-at-home parent, some people talk about their hobbies, some people talk about life projects they're involved, some people talk about the charities they support. I feel it's just a big icebreaker and it gives me input to grab something and continue the conversation. No one has ever answered me something like I do nothing. What's your second favorite jam? Remember that day? Yeah, I remember. Do you wipe front to back or side to side? Ford. Family, occupation, recreation, dreams. Pets are a good one. If they don't have any pets, ask them what pet they would want, or any childhood/old pets. It's personal, but not too personal. Also, people love talking about their pets. ITT, two kinds of people, basic bitches who ask about TV or music, and people with no social sense who ask super invasive or controversial questions on the first date. My favorite icebreaker question is, if you had to do a PhD in something, what would it be? And if they say nothing, I wouldn't want to, I say, well, what if I made you? Like I held a gun to your head and said you have to pick a topic to dedicate 7 years of your life to right now, what do you choose? I get a couple of different kinds of answers. Some people answer enthusiastically about something related to their work, and that's a good sign because it means they're passionate about what they do. Like if an electrical engineer gets really excited talking about some electrical engineering related problem they'd like to work on, or if someone who already had a PhD in psychology goes on about other questions in psychology they wish they'd had longer to investigate. It's kind of wholesome to know they get paid to do what they love. Another kind of person is someone who has no fucking clue. There is two subtypes, people who are passionate about everything and can't choose just one thing who rattle off a half-dozen disparate areas rapid fire, and people who are passionate about nothing and can't think of anything more torturous than having to study anything for years. I find the latter subtype very sad and I sometimes feel bad for them, as they're often depressed I think. But other times I think they are just people who didn't like school, or they like working with their hands or doing something active more. Then there are total oddballs that give you really weird answers that you didn't even imagine were options. One woman said she would like to go undercover and study sex workers. My favorite answer was a software engineering coworker who answered immediately with a dreamy look on her face, Arthurian legends. After I heard her explanation I wanted to learn about the legends of King Arthur too. The second best part about this question is not only does it give me a lot of information about my date/coworker/new friend, but then when they turn the question back on me I get to talk about how much I love math. You can tell a lot about someone based on their biggest fears. The one that has paid dividends for me is, can you tell me something about you I don't know? So, do you like Pokemon? Two things I know to never ask. One is politics and the other is, can I see your phone for a second? Silges Liga? If you had 3 wishes, what would they be? What's your favorite method of disposing bodies? What their hobbies are, at least I can then find something that we can speak about. What do you like to read? Deleted. One of my go-to questions is, in a very serious tone, so do you drink Coke or Pepsi? It normally gets a laugh, and the person will generally open up. It can be a nice icebreaker to start a conversation. I usually ask people to tell me a story. Any story, either a true story about their day, a story a friend told them, a story they came up with. It catches people off guard, but the story they choose can tell you a lot about them. No, I don't think so. What is it that you do for fun? Do you like movies about gladiators? Hey, do you even like people? If I was ever asked most of these questions I would bail on the conversation ASAP because anyone asking that shit is fucking weird. If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you visit and why? Actually has proven to be an effective relationship screening tool. Did you see that story about insert crazy non-political current event here? For example, did you see that crazy story about that guy getting swallowed by a whale and living?